Good Monday, everyone. Thanks for stopping by Garden State Weather and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I'm forecaster Robert Smith with the daily video forecast discussion for Monday, the 7th of April, 2014. Morning surface map from New Jersey and New York City metropolitan area and down to Philadelphia and the Delmarva region shows lots of clouds in the mid and lower levels of the atmosphere. The clouds begin to thicken and lower. We also have rain, which is now developing across southeastern Pennsylvania, places like Reading, and also places like Allentown just about getting in on the rain right now. As a little bit of fog and haze across the atmosphere this morning as well across the forecast stations, the observation stations, and temperatures are pretty uniform and the dew points are coming up too. That means saturation is occurring in the mid and lower levels of the atmosphere with an onshore flow, basically a northeast to southeast direction here as we get a warm front to get through the region during this afternoon. Winds are out of the east now. In southern New Jersey, they're out of the east. In central New Jersey, they're still backing to the northeast here in eastern, southeastern Pennsylvania, and all the winds are beginning from the south-southeast now across the Poconos, north New Jersey, and the New Jersey, New York City metropolitan area, and out on Long Island too. And plenty of rainfall is on the way during later this afternoon through tomorrow morning. Temperatures this morning are ranging generally uniform in the low to the mid-40s across the entire forecast region. Latest visible satellite imagery this morning shows a couple of things here. There's a lot of striations of the clouds, a lot of lifting going on here across the Tennessee River Valley and Kentucky this morning. As moisture continues to pool in, there's a lot of drier air. There's a lot more lifting here in the middle levels of the atmosphere. It's more of an overcast, but at high overcast conditions across Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Virginia, Delmarva region, also down to the Carolinas, and plenty of rain is on the way. We can see this on the water vapor imagery. Plenty of lifting going on in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere, with strong lifting going on now across the southeastern interior states here. And this along the Appalachian Mountains is going to lift all the way to the northeast during this afternoon and this evening, provide a pretty good swath of rain across the region, maybe an inch and a quarter. And we could also see a few embedded thunderstorms in this too, and we'll get into that in just a moment. Let's take a look at the latest radar imagery. You can see the shield of rain now beginning to spread in across this region. Some of this is drying, but most of this is becoming saturated to the surface where light rain is now reaching the ground in central and southeastern Pennsylvania. The heaviest of rain, some of this coming down pretty hard now across the southeastern states along the Appalachian chain, and this is all heading in our direction during this afternoon and during tonight. Late morning surface image from weatherroanoke.com and digital atmosphere software shortly after 10 o'clock this morning. A couple of things here. We find the deepening low here across the Tennessee River Valley into the Ohio River Valley here, with a plethora of rain on the northwest side of here, and a slinking warm front and also an occluding front just to the north and west of this. All of this moisture being pooled into the north and east, with some very heavy rainfall now through southern Georgia into the Tennessee River Valley, all the way into the northern mid-Atlantic states, and eventually all of this will conspire to provide some much needed rainfall across the region late this afternoon through early tomorrow morning. Watches, warnings, and advisories. We have them for the coastal waters here along the south shores of Connecticut and also to the north shore of Long Island, the south shore of Long Island. Let's start with the small craft advisories until 6 o'clock along the south shore of Connecticut, north shore of Long Island. We do have strong winds over the waters tonight and Tuesday, and this is a small craft advisory in effect until 6 o'clock this evening to 6 p.m. on Tuesday. And we're basically going to feel southerly winds shifting or veering to the southwest during Tuesday afternoon, Monday afternoon rather, at 15 to 25 knots, gust up to 30 knots, seas 6 to 11 feet on the ocean waters. For the south shore of Long Island Sound, strong winds over the waters tonight into Tuesday again. Small craft advisory remains in effect, winds shifting or veering to the southwest during Tuesday afternoon at 15 to 25 knots, gusts up to 30 knots, seas 6 to 11 feet on the ocean waters. Strongest winds late tonight into early tomorrow morning, highest seas again early tomorrow morning. For the New Jersey coastal waters, small craft advisories again in effect, and these small craft advisories are in effect from 2 p.m. this afternoon until 5 p.m. on Tuesday. Wind southeast to south at 15 to 25 knots, gust up to 30 knots, seas 5 to 8 feet. Gale warning or gale conditions, isolated gale force gusts are possible during tonight, especially near any thunderstorms. For the aviational weather deck, we have MVFR conditions approaching from the southwest and mostly VFR conditions elsewhere. A little bit of IFR conditions at Morristown right now, where they have a little bit of haze, visibility 2.5 miles. The wind is southeast at about 5, temperature 46. Outside of that, Newark right now is VFR, temperature 47, dew point 36, humidity 65%. The wind is out of the northeast, just due east, at about 6 knots, visibility 7 miles. Broken ceilings at 13,000, overcast at 25,000. And we're going to find the weather deteriorating with a southeast wind building across the region. 11 gusts to 18 knots, then up to 20 knots. Light rain develops late this afternoon, reducing the visibilities beyond or below 5 miles or so, and then further down to below 3 miles with a northeast wind or a southeast wind rather at 13 gusts up to 20, with some moderate rain falling late this afternoon right through the overnight hours. The winds begin to shift around to the southwest, or basically nearing the south, and then eventually to the west during late tonight, early tomorrow morning. The light rain begins to end. Broken ceilings tomorrow morning at 12,000. Some scattered clouds at 2,500. Broken at 20,000 during early daybreak tomorrow. And the winds shifting around to the southwest. 18 gust up to 30 knots. Basically VFR conditions outside of IFR conditions during tonight. Basically getting back to VFR conditions tomorrow, but some low-level wind shear is possible, and we'll deal with that tomorrow as we get through the day. Philadelphia right now, same kind of thing, temperature 48 degrees, overcast at 8,500. There is some light rain in the vicinity. Visibility is better than 10 miles. The wind is out of the northeast at about 9 miles an hour, almost due east. And we're going to have some light rain, which is now in the vicinity right now, and that rain will become moderate rain during late this afternoon and evening with overcast conditions at 2,500. Visibility is down to 3 miles. That's IFR conditions there. And then we'll get better in tomorrow morning. The winds will begin to shift around to the south and then later to the southwest with light rain showers late tonight as that warm front and low pressure area lift to the north and east across the region. Cold front brings the end of the rainfall through tomorrow morning, and before dawn tomorrow the winds are out of the southwest at about 10 knots with overcast conditions at 10,000 feet and visibilities improving. Morning run of the 4-kilometer Nam Wharf composite reflectivity and cloud forecast going into the future here. Here's our rain on our back doorstep heading to the north and east this morning as the low pressure area begins to bomb out and move towards the Ohio River Valley and then eventually the St. Lawrence River Valley, moving a warm front through the region late this afternoon through the overnight hours. The warm front gets through. We could find some enhancement in the south to southwest flow. That could provide some instability, some moderate pockets of heavy rain, even a low top thunderstorm across the region late tonight into early tomorrow morning. And then the rain begins to wax and wane, gets out of here. We find a break in the action on Tuesday. Temperatures on Tuesday morning rising with the warm front to the north. We wait for a secondary cold front to come through the region as the low pressure area is now into southeastern Canada, drags another cold front through the region, and the winds begin to back around from the southwest to the west, and then the northwest and clearing skies begin during the afternoon hours on Tuesday morning through Tuesday afternoon. So most of the rain now getting out of here during the early morning hours with breaks in the overcast VFR conditions for flying in the afternoon, and gusty north to west, northwesterly to westerly winds changing around from southwest to northwest during the afternoon. And the secondary batch of cloud cover waxing and waning as the secondary cold front comes through later during the day on Wednesday, and then provides clearing weather with absolutely brilliant blue skies around here during the day Wednesday afternoon, predominantly through Wednesday evening and Thursday as well. 2-meter temperatures from the NamWRF composite reflectivity chart, we're going to remain on the marine layer during this afternoon and tonight until the warm front passes to the north. So temperatures during today on Monday afternoon will probably remain in the chilly side in the 40s and lower to mid 50s across the southern regions. As the warm front moves through, the skies begin to clear out. Breaks in the overcast during tomorrow. Temperatures getting into the mid 50s and lower 60s, but that will be short-lived as the secondary cold front comes through, moves into the region during tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. By the time we get to Wednesday afternoon, temperatures will be falling back through the seasonable levels of the lower to mid 50s across the region, and this would be for Wednesday afternoon. And chillier air is on the way, and then just seasonably normal temperatures by the time we get to Thursday. The latest means of the 500 millibar pattern from all models here, the European model, GFS, and Canadian model 2, show a positive PNA here, basically with a mean ridge across the western United States, mean troughing central and eastern United States. It's a little bit more ridging here off of the southern New England coast, and also on the GFS extending further out into Atlantic Canada, and then even further on the CMC of the next 8 to 10 days rather. But this still produces a mean trough from the Great Lakes south. We're on the eastern edge of this, so we're going to have disturbances cutting through the subtropical jet stream, the southern branch of the jet stream, and the active westerly pattern here, the zonal pattern that we're finding on all model guidance here. So we're going to have to watch for this with stalling cold fronts in the northern stream and tropical moisture or just moisture from the subtropical jet stream being fed into these systems over the next 8 to 10 days. It's going to still be a very active pattern and one that will be quite unsettled. GFS upper level 18,000 foot, 500 millibar wind barbs, heights, and absolute vorticity going forward. Here is our neutrally tilted trough early this morning. Getting into the Ohio River Valley with low pressure attendant to it, and moving into southeastern Canada with a southern base here, moving through with plenty of moisture, getting streamed up through the northern mid-Atlantic. The whole trough axis begins to swing through on Wednesday. So even though the rain ends tomorrow predominantly, we still have the upper trough axis to get through during the day on Wednesday. And as that lifts to the north and east, we get into a zonal flow again. But notice this is still a split pattern across the Pacific. The northern stream, a very active subtropical jet stream to the south. And the zonal flow is going to variate between trough axis and cutoff flows. And here's another disturbance in the subtropical jet stream on Thursday, getting ready to pound California here. As it gets in there, and we find northern stream energy driving down here too, is going to cut off and produce a trough axis here across the central plains. Northern stream energy, southern stream energy from the subtropical jet stream for late next weekend. We're in a milder phase from late this week into early next week with a ridge axis here off the southeastern coast. And that's going to pump up some warmer heights and some warmer temperatures here across the region. But then the trough axis begins to deepen and shift into a neutral to slightly negative tilt again by early next week, with northern stream and southern stream branching going on here. And northern stream dominates with a more zonal flow. Here comes another disturbance in trough axis in the split flow here across the west coast next week in this very, very progressive pattern. And we're going to continue with very active weather with up and down swings in temperatures across the northern mid-Atlantic region, which will remain in the battle zone. Surface GFS forecast going into motion here. High pressure off the coast now. Here comes our rain. As this low pressure area begins to deepen and move into southeastern Canada, warm front, cold couplet coming through. Rain could be heavy at times late tonight into early tomorrow morning. The low begins to pull to the north and east. away from the region. But notice the heights here. The mean trough axis here is still back to the west from the Great Lakes all the way down to the southern states of Louisiana here. We have to get this trough axis off the east coast, and as it does so, that will lift all of the cold air and pool of energy away from the eastern coast. Then we get into more of a zonal flow. Notice the northern stream of the polar jet beginning more active again with this big cutoff here going on. Find systems undercutting this in the northern stream south of the Aleutian Islands, getting into southeastern Canada, and also a very active undercutting here with the southern branch of the jet stream, the subtropical branch here. And then we dig a system through the northern plains with another front arriving on Friday. As that front comes through, it's going to probably stall out as high pressure continues to build over the southeastern states, providing warmer weather, milder conditions. But the front, as it comes through, probably stalls out. A little bit of moisture gets trapped on it. Here's our another northern stream energy, and another one coming off the Pacific coast in the northern stream. Active subtropical jet stream continues as well. All of this begins to deepen quite well. Trough access begins through the central plains down through the southeastern United States for early next week. This brings warm air, southwesterly winds, and very mild conditions late this weekend into early next week for the eastern United States. And two systems here, the northern stream, the southern stream, everything begins to slow down, and more precipitation is on the way, and this could bring moderate to heavy rain across the region, especially the Appalachian Mountains, west of the New Jersey, New York City metropolitan area, late Monday night, early Tuesday, and eventually all of that rain just gets back up through the watersheds here and the rivers here of the New Jersey, New York, Philadelphia metropolitan area early next week. An active spring pattern on the way for the entire forecast region right through next week. No changes in the forecast analysis as we see. This is not really going to change that much. It's going to be up and down swings as we move through the month of April. Live feeds on Facebook and Twitter, and live coverage as well. All of that, plus river forecasting, all of those in the drop-down boxes on both websites. Hydrology, all of that stuff is located there on both websites for you. For Garden State Weather and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, I'm forecaster Robert Smith. You make it a great Monday. We'll be back bright and early with the latest details on Tuesday morning.